We're going to talk today about the similarities between a Thai mother or a traditional Thai lady and a Thai bar girl. Because a lot of times when we don't know about the situation, we don't know what to expect, it's odd in the behaviors that we experience. Sometimes we're shocked because the Thai, single mother is acting more like a bar girl and asking for money all the time and everything else than the bar girl is. And the bar girl, we expect to ask for money right away, and she never does. So you don't know what to expect. But one of the things that helps is to understand the culture and some of the reasons why everything ends up the way it does. Okay, first of all, the dreams that the Thai wife, or single mother has aren't very much different than the bar girl. They all want to be happy. They all want a secure future. They want a family. They want happiness. And a lot of that has to do with security and having, because they're in a poor country. How many times can you see your parents struggle and not have money as a kid and not say to yourself, I'm not going to be this way? I remember that. And my parents were very middle class, but I thought we were poor because in our neighborhood there was a doctor and a lawyer and they lived better than we did. And so in comparison, I thought we were poor. Now I can imagine how it would be living in a poor country to where, you're living in a shack of a house with a bunch of people in a small house. There's no getting around you're poor, okay? And you want something different in for your life, for your, the success in your life. And it's it's hard. You have to understand that. Now, one of the things I will say, just because I understand and sympathize and have a lot of empathy for the Thai people in their situation, doesn't mean I give in to that situation, okay? I don't ask a Thai woman to accept American culture and, the way that I do things just because it's my culture. I don't accept their culture. I accept it for them. But as far as me accepting it, it's like, no, 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 no. And she has to understand, if I start dating a woman, okay, from the very beginning, and I've said this before, from the very beginning, I'm not looking for a bar girl to date. I don't date bar girls. Um, if I do, it's only for a very short period of time. But I don't date bar girls. If I start dating someone or looking towards dating someone, they're very aware about my feelings when it comes to asking for money. And I understand why they ask for money, and it's hard because it almost, the whole cultural thing of Thai women almost works in reverse because a Thai woman with a decent job that works hard to get where she's at, and she's a nurse or she's a real estate agent or whatever she does, has a harder time keeping up with family expectations than the bar girl does. A bar girl that's attractive can make a hell of a lot of money and she can support her family. Even though if, some families, if they get everything they ask for this month, they'll just ask for more next month. But, it's sometimes easier for the bar girls to keep up with family expectations and to, support their children because they do. They make a lot of money in comparison to the average wage of a working person in Thailand. So that has a lot to do with it. The other thing is the reliance on men for security, on the reliance on men for money is something that has kind of worked its way into the culture of a lot of women, not only bar ladies, but also working women who, work hard and try to support their family, do the right thing, and they would consider themselves a proper lady, have no problem when they're sleeping with their boyfriend saying, I need money for this or I need money for that. And in America, we have, or in the West, our our freedoms, our successes have kind of made us a little pompous when we come to how proper we are. Oh, I would never do that. That's just improper, you know. But if that was the only way you could survive, you might think about it. You know, it's like I always love when these, feminist ladies talk about prostitution and about how it's just this and it's that, and it's like it is. It's a terrible thing, and I wish we lived in a world that it wasn't necessary, but we don't. And I could never condone it and say it's a terrible thing, those girls are going to hell, whatever, without being in their shoes. How do you know what you would do if you saw your children going hungry? So, until you are in that situation and see what you're going to do, don't comment about it. Shut the hell up. So, anyways, but a lot of the aspirations of the average Thai lady and the bar girl are exactly the same. They would all love a nice family. They would all love a house to live in that's decent with indoor plumbing. Yeah, no buckets of water over the head for a shower. But it's they all have the same feelings. And the other thing that's kind of, I think that's fine, but at the same time, the looking at men as a way to get to that success in life has made it, a lot of the proper ladies act a little bit on the bar girlish kind of side. Like I said, I make it well known. I put it on if somebody meets me through my dating profile. It's on there. I don't give money to women I'm dating. I don't buy expensive gifts. Period. If you ask, we won't see each other anymore. And I follow that same. If I woman I meet at, let's say, the mall or on the bot bus, I make it known to her I have those feelings. It's like I don't do that, so don't ask. And it's it always, a lot of, I would say probably a third of the women actually make it a decent amount of time before something happens and they feel close enough to me to ask for help in whatever emergency came up. Um, but so often, I mean, I'm asked, and if you date in Thailand, you're asked before you even make it to the first date, before you even technically met in person, they have an emergency come up and they want you to loan them money for it. So this one lady was really, it was because I play along a lot because I like learning things. That's what I do with these videos. I've learned a lot of things by talking to people. I don't have to, have experiences personally with ladyboys, but if I talk to enough of them, talk to enough people who have had experiences with ladyboys, I can give you all the information about dealing with ladyboys, and it's just as good. Same thing with dating women. When a woman is going down a certain path, I've talked about this before. I love testing women. When I start dating a woman, I love going to the mall and going in front of all the perfume stores and jewelry stores and all these things to see the way a woman will react. And this one time I had been dating this woman a couple of weeks, and she'd done really well. She wasn't like greedy about anything. She didn't want to go to expensive places. She didn't want expensive things. She didn't ask for anything. She didn't ask for money. It's like I really found a good one, so I thought. And one day we're going, and we passed by this new scooter dealership, and she wants to go look at a new scooter. She said, "Hey, it's our day off. We're not doing anything, so can we go in here and I want to look at a scooter?" And it's like, why not? I want to see it. It's like, I was thinking, boy. And in Thailand, I don't know if some of you know this, but if people are on a budget, they do have some scooter places that are like new scooters. So secondhand, used, whatever, however you want to say it. But you can get a good scooter there for less money as opposed to buying one like right off the showroom floor. So, but this one is, dealership right on the showroom floor. So it's like, boy, either she won the lottery or she's looking to really ask for a lot here. since I don't speak Thai and I don't know why we're there in the first place, I direct the salesperson to her, to answer questions or whatever. So she starts explaining what she wants and is looking for. And I told her, I said, you have a car and, it's probably better you drive the car because scooters aren't really safe in Pattaya. And, oh, no, it's not for me. It's for my brother. And she had told me a little bit about her brother. And her brother is a grown-ass man who has no job, is not going to school. He lives with his parents and sponges off the money that she sends to the parents to live. So basically, he's a lazy slug. And she kept trying to get me involved in this whole scooter selection thing. And what do you think? What do you like this one? And I told her, I said, first of all, I said, you're crazy. I said, the boy doesn't need a scooter. I said, he has no job, he makes no money, and he's not going to school, so he doesn't have to go anywhere. It just costs more money. And it's like, he doesn't need a scooter. It's okay. Oh, no, he wants one, and I really like to buy him one or whatever. And it's like, no, what he needs is a job. And it's like, if he gets a job and does well and makes some money, maybe we'll look at a scooter next birthday. And so, oh no, I want to buy. And she went on and on about buying it for me. She really was pushing. And it's like, no, you can do what you wish. I said, it's foolish to buy him a scooter. He won't appreciate it. He doesn't appreciate the fact that he's sponging off of you and your parents. And he's a grown man that should have a job. And I said, he's not going to mind, accepting a scooter and then tearing it up by not taking care of it. I said, so you do what you wish. And, basically she's talking the whole time. And she keeps pushing harder for me to get involved because, in a few minutes I get the feeling and I get the strong feeling that she's thinking I'm going to buy it for his birthday or whatever reason she's buying it for him. And I look at her and I said, I'm not buying. I said, if you want, I'll give him a gift. I'll go up to him, kick him in the seat of the pants and tell him to get a job. That's my gift to him. And she's like, oh, that's terrible. And it's like, no, it's something your father should have done a long time ago instead of letting him laze around the house and become a bum. I said, I'm not buying him anything. I said, I've told you this before. I said, I'm not giving you money for your parents. I'm not buying your brother a scooter. I said, you want to buy it for him? Buy it for him. I said, when he tears it up, I don't want to hear complaints about it. And I said, I told you, I don't give you money and I don't spend money on family or gifts. It's like, so don't, you ask me again, we stop going out. And, sometimes it's like, you feel like with the whole gold digger moocher thing, you feel almost like, you're a principal or you're somebody's dad. Because it's so simple. It's like, don't ask, and you get so accustomed as a Western man, a woman in the West would die. Well, not all women. There are, I'm sure, some strippers and other women that would have no problem asking for stuff. But if you're dating an employed average girl next door, she's not going to be asking you for stuff. She looks at stuff and will tell you, I can make my own money. And it's true, she can, so go do it. So there you go. But when it comes to Thai women, there's so many expectations put on them and so many things they need. And then the other thing that happens is Thai women are masters at money, I'll say, miscalculations. It's like they are terrible with money. They spend money. If they have money on them, they don't save it for a rainy day. They sometimes don't even save it for their bills. They will spend it and then they try to figure out a way to cover whatever that was going to cover before. And so and this is whether the girl, I don't care if she works in a bank, and deals with money all the time. It is a common problem with Thai women is their mismanagement of money. And so it is very common that, they don't have credit cards. They don't have loans that they can take out quickly like we do in the West. If they spend their money on something stupid, they have to figure out a way to make that up. And, it's not easy because jobs don't pay much and there's a lot of obstacles in the way for other than their boyfriend. So that's the reason why so many times, it's not a prostitution thing. It's not a gold digger thing. It's simply the situation to where a woman you're dating gets into a bad situation and has to fix it. And you're the easiest way to fix it. I think that's one of the things about the difference is in when a woman needs it. And like I said, I understand this. I don't agree with it and I don't give into it, but I do understand it. When it comes to like a single mom, a single time mom, or a Thai professional lady who has a good job, they ask for things that are not so. They're not trying to take your money. In some cases, I think that Thai women test you to see if you will help them because they don't want a stingy man because they're afraid that, like a lot of the situations they've been into before, relationships before, the man has taken off. The man has left them high and dry and responsible for all the financial as well as emotional things. And that's one of the things that you have to realize about Thai women is they fear being left alone. They fear that a man is going to do a runner because there's so many Thai women who are single mothers, and when you talk to them, they will have been dating a guy, got pregnant, and he left, never to come back or call and come and see his kid or anything else again. Same with married women. The man just disappears. And so a lot of women do. They want somebody who they feel they can be secure with. So I think a lot of ladies ask for things to see what you're going to do, to see if you're a stingy man or you would help her out. And so that's one thing. But I don't do it. It's like I don't care. I shouldn't say I don't care. I don't change the way I am because of Thai customs and Thai situations. Just like I wouldn't expect a woman to change her basic beliefs and the way she is for American customs. So, that's the big thing. And the woman, any woman I'm ever going to be with is going to have to understand that. It's like just because I understand where you're coming from, I can sympathize. I understand. I understood why that lady wanted to buy her brother a scooter. It would be a nice gesture, and she loved her brother, even though he was a lazy slug. Okay, I understand that, but you're only making the situation worse. You're giving him more reason to be a lazy slug and live off of other people. So stop doing it. Teach him a lesson. Get him out working and being a productive citizen, and then you can stop supporting him and do more things for your own children, for yourself. So there's a lot to be said for that. And it works. It's difficult in both ways for both professional ladies, single moms, and bar women. It's a tough place to be a woman, let's put it that way. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, like and subscribe. The channel is growing. We got a lot more subscribers now. We're getting a lot of comments on the videos, and it's very good. So if there's any questions you have about Thailand, travel in Thailand, love, lust, red light districts, send me an email. The email address is in the front and at the end of the video. And if you have any questions about the book, it's available at Amazon.com. Have a good day.